What's going on, everybody? Do you want to paint more miniatures in 2019? Getting more painted? We're going to talk about that for just a second. Before we do, I want to let you know January 11th, Ghost Brush, my paintbrush line, will be live on Kickstarter, and I hope you check it out. It would mean the world to me as long as you just read through it, looked at the pretty pictures I got taken, and give me even just feedback on it, whether or not you're in the market for some new paintbrushes that are going to help you paint little miniatures and possibly make your life the best life you ever had. You know, you never know. So I want to talk about tips to paint more miniatures in 2019. Tip number one, you need a permanent setup. Whether that be a painting desk, a painting compound, a bead slab, whether you maybe paint on the couch or you're in your chair, maybe you paint outside, I don't know. But pick an area, make it your permanent setup, and leave your stuff out. I like this setup here because when I'm laying over there in bed, I can still see my paint setup, and it just jogs your memory and you think about it all the time. If you're into painting, that's very valuable because you're constantly thinking about color choices, color theory, composition on a piece, especially if you're trying really hard on it. Now, another way to paint a lot more miniatures would be get materials you enjoy. Try new materials, try new paints, new paint brushes, new brush cleaner maybe. Get an airbrush, try out airbrush paints, different brands. Keeping this new exploration in the hobby going increases your fun, or keeps it fun and interesting, because as a human being, you are constantly trying to discover new things out of your natural curiosity. This is going to help you a lot, because if you get a new, say, red paint, that might inspire you to paint that Demon Prince that's been sitting in your box for a year, because now you're like, oh, he'd probably make a cool corn Demon Prince, and I just happened to buy dark red or whatever, right? So trying out new materials definitely gonna help you paint more miniatures this year. Next step would be start a new project you're excited about, but keep it very small. So use this as a tool to break up maybe a large project. So say you are painting an entire Space Marine army and you're about halfway done, paint a Blood Bowl team, paint a Necromunda gang. That'll give you a nice break. Try some new techniques, because eventually when you're painting an army, I've found, and I think most people will agree, when you're painting an army, a lot of your painting becomes a little bit tedious, like work. This is because you're not trying new things like you were in the beginning of the army. You have now kind of locked in your style for that army, and now you're just repeating the process. This is like doing the dishes. Doing the dishes, you don't ever really try a new way to scrub, you just don't. You do it the same way every time. It's work and it's tedious. That's why people don't like doing the dishes. That's why people get painting burnout or hobby burnout. Because if they're just doing the same base coat, wash, edge, highlight, it's going to burn you out. So try new things. Watch YouTube videos and get tips and ideas. Try a wet blend. Try just a different layering technique. Try 3 layers. Try doing a miniature with just no washes, or whatever. Anything to make it fun and interesting. And at the end of those experiments, you're going to have painted miniatures because of it, because you were experimenting on miniatures. Obviously, that's going to help you paint more miniatures. Another tip would be maybe get a commission. Let people know you're willing to paint their D&D character or their D&D monsters, maybe a unit for their Warhammer army. Be honest with yourself on price. Keep it low, because the goal is you want them to be happy with their decision to use you. Now, if you are doing the commission, I would just take a lot of photos for your Instagram, because there's still miniatures you painted this year, And you might find that when somebody's giving you money to do it, you're more motivated. So that might help you paint more, because you'll start getting in the mindset that this is maybe an enjoyable way to make an income. So then another option would be paint things to try and sell on eBay. That's what I've been doing lately. I've been buying these little WizKids models. They're like $5 each, and then I attempt to sell them from like $30 to $75 each, 85, 80 on eBay. So as I'm working on them, I have the motivation that, I get to put this up on my eBay store, linked below, and maybe it'll sell. So that's always fun. Another really, really good tip, and you're not going to like it, quit playing video games, period. They are not doing anything for you unless you're a streamer or you're making some kind of income off them. The likelihood of them adding any value to your life whatsoever is probably very, very low. They probably don't help you relax after work. They probably actually make you secretly depressed. I'm just thinking about all the hours, the thousands and thousands of hours I spent playing Dota 2, Defense of the Ancients. I think I have like 400 games of just playing Venomancer, and he was my favorite character. Thinking about it now, all those hours I spent summoning Plague Wards on a video game, if I was practicing wet blending, I could be competing in higher level painting competitions, or I would have like 5 painted armies that could be up for sale on eBay for $4,000. You get my point. The amount of time you waste on a video game is directly cutting into your time you could be painting. Because essentially, during the time you're playing a video game, you're sitting down and focusing on something. That something being the video game. So, instead, sit down and focus on painting. It seems obvious, but people think they're going to do both, and then they don't know why they have no motivation to paint. But the thing is, the instant gratification of a video game compared to painting, yeah, you could pick this up and start base coating this eyeball, but maybe you'll just play one more match of Dota or League of Legends or whatever. Dota might be old. I haven't played in a while, but you'll play one more match, or you'll paint waiting for your next match, and then it starts up 8 minutes after the last one ended, and there's another hour gone. So if you're sitting and focusing, instead of it being on a video game, put it into painting. This is just, I can't stress this enough, they're directly in competition. This would also include movies, unless you paint and watch movies at the same time, which you definitely can do. And then, maybe occasionally you'll actually sit down and really focus on like a great movie. But if you're just watching, like for me, I'm a big fan of comedies, including almost every comedy ever. I'm willing to probably give it a shot and watch it. But that being said, a lot of those times I'm watching it, I'm really just painting and glancing up here and there and laughing at the jokes. So another tip for painting more miniatures could be getting audiobooks. Go on YouTube after you watch this video, like and subscribe. And then after, of course, you check out the Kickstarter, January 11th. But on YouTube, there are free audiobooks. Just search audiobook and boop, there you go. There's like 100,000 different audiobooks you can listen to on YouTube while you paint. This is pretty powerful, I've found, because if you're listening to like an 8, 10, 12, 24 hour long book, you just put it on and start painting, and before you know it, you've put in like 3 hours. Not only probably learn something if you're listening to like a self-help book or a business book or a human nature type book, but you've also got a lot of painting done. So you're like stimulating your mind both linguistically, I guess, like knowledge and learning from whatever the book's teaching you, and whatever you're learning hands-on while you're painting. I don't know if this is more beneficial than regular learning, but it feels like you're double learning, and that's kind of exciting. So check out audiobooks. I have not really gotten into any audiobooks that are fiction. Like when I say I'm listening to audiobooks, a lot of it's like Robert Greene, things like that. Sorry, my cat meowed. So a lot of those are going to be things that supposedly are going to help make me a better person, a better businessman, whatever, right? And I guess that's about it. Hopefully you paint more. Hopefully in 2019, very soon, you'll be painting with Ghost paintbrushes. Ghost Brush. January 11th, search Ghost Brush on Kickstarter. They are nylon brushes, perfect for painting miniatures. They're going to make you super happy, super productive in 2019, and I'm excited to share them with you. We just need to hit a very small goal. I put the goal way below what I'm willing to put in to cover the manufacturing, so it's going to get made regardless, and then hopefully we can start sharing experiences, and maybe the ultimate goal, we could have like a Ghost Brush painted miniature painting competition or something like that via Facebook or Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I've been having a lot of fun doing this channel because to me it just adds on another layer of the hobby, which I do love and feel saved my life. So let's talk soon. Please subscribe. Anytime you comment below, I do try to respond to every single one. So if you have any questions or emails or whatever, just send them on over to me. I got nothing better to do than talk to you. Thank you.